Okay, so a woman gets pregnant, nurtures her pregnancy for 9 months, and then brings forth a baby, the joy of every mother. And suddenly, you discover that your child has a medical condition, one that you have to live with for a long time. It happened the first time, and then it happened again. Curiosity sets in, and against all odds is here at St. Child Foundation to ask questions. The program is against all odds on the Nigerian Television Authority, the NTA, and my name is Doshima Pius Ikirave. Don't go away, we will be back shortly. Don't go away.
This is Against All Odds.
Often do you carry this exercise out for the children?
Yeah, because of this, it's supposed to be daily activity, but because of distance, the caregivers are trained to do what we call ROME, R-O-M-E, range of motion exercise. There are few exercises they can do to the joints, but physically I come here 2 times every week.
So tell us about these items.
Okay. The shea butter. It has little herbal concoction that helps to soften the muscles, to relax muscles and help the joints, and it makes it flexible for me to handle. That's the shea butter. Then even the stroke patients uses it too. Then the sponge, we use it and we use this regularly to stimulate the sensation, and that's enough flow of blood to those affected areas like the palm. You see, that is what this is for. Okay. And the honey, it is to soften the speech organs and control saliva drop. The frequency of which they use it, they swallow, and then each time saliva comes to their mouth, they will learn to. So it teaches them how to swallow. To take back the saliva in their mouth instead of dropping.
I see you stretching them, trying to make some of them walk and all that. Why do you do that?
It is for independency. Why they are here is to help them move their parts of body and to be independent, to do things on their own, so that they can feed the hand, so that they can use their hand to feed themselves and the leg to move. And so they stretch. Anyone that has, like him now, there is contraction here, stiffness of this joint. It can't go more than this. So you have to stretch it. And if you do it, it goes. But when you don't do exercise, it comes back. But the frequency to which you do it will make it soft, and for it will. And then we use these other ones there to make them stand straight and walk. And that is back slap.
Are we looking forward that someday they'll be able to stretch and walk?
Yeah, we'll have, it depends on the severity of the case. We'll have mild and severe. For severe cases, we We only do it so that the child can at least have some relaxation. But for my cases, even here who have graduated, my cases, yes. And they work and parents come to pick them.
When you were massaging this child, you also did some movement. What was that for?
I always do it to see if he's seen or sound, if he can respond to sound.
What are the signs that you will tell parents to look out for in their tender children?
I always ask parents that when you delivered in the labor room, what happened? Some of them will tell me it was CS and they never notice all those things. So if a baby does not cry, does not suck, and when they come back home, there are other signs of responding to sound and the rest. If it doesn't happen, there is a problem. They should quickly go to a hospital. Early intervention, we call it. Early intervention.
The child standing there.
Yes.
Do all the children go through that process?
They do. But when the leg is not too strong, we support with back slap. The little girls who pack from here, they go in there happily without back slap. Standing box is for stability, learning balancing. Then from here they graduate to paraba, and the paraba they hold it and learn to walk, to move. That is the final stage.
So there's hope for the CP child.
There is hope.
What advice will you give to parents who have CP children?
The brain collapses in a few minutes, but building it back will take longer time. So they should be patient.
TerraCube is available in beef, chicken, jollof and crayfish flavors in 50 cubes Saver Pack and 100 cubes Super Saver Pack.
TerraCube. Unwrap joy. Unleash taste.
This is Against All Odds.
You know, the first time we had a conversation and we're talking about these children with special needs, and we got talking, we spoke about Noye, and you know, you said Noye actually adopted a daughter, okay, who had CP, but your own case is that you actually brought forth your own biological children, not just one child. How has this journey been like?
My husband and I will be married for over 20 years. I will have 4 children. The first is Tehaman. He came out with no medical condition. The second was Sedu. Sedu was born on the 22nd of August 2005. Sedu could not see, Sedu could not talk, Sedu could not walk. I don't think Sedu recognized me as a mother. And while we were trying to figure out what was wrong with Sedu, we had Aunfa in similar condition. Aunfa could not see, Aunfa could not talk, Aunfa could not walk. I don't think Aunfa recognized me as a mother. I used to work in the bank. Then having 2 children that are completely dependent on you, it was difficult. And raising these children around here, it's overwhelming. The discrimination, the stigma, and God say where you got these children from. Why don't you kill these children, even from supposed Christians? These children are not human beings. These children are snake incarnates. Even if we keep them, of what use are they going to be for you? It was difficult. Having to get people or a caregiver to take care of Sedo at home, it was difficult. You go out, you come back, and you see them all messed up with no one attending to them. So my husband and I decided that if we had Sedo and we had Aunfa, and we searched around to find if there was a place where we could take these children to for care, so we'll be able to attend to other things we couldn't find. Why can't we be the solution? Why can't we start a place where we could take these children from parents to ease mothers? My target was mothers. Maybe because I'm a mother, I know that is. And then a child that has cerebral palsy is going to grow into an adult with cerebral palsy. It is not curable. If God heals such a child, yes. If God does not, what happens? The child needs to be attended to. The child needs to be given therapy as early as possible. So we offer therapy here, and we offer residential care. We do not charge parents, but we ask parents to support. And we also, because we know that we cannot take all the children with cerebral palsy, even within Abuja, but there must be that enabling environment so that other caregivers, other parents are able to carry their heads up with confidence, not feeling shy, not feeling rejected and all that. So we go to communities to talk about cerebral palsy. In 2023, 2024, we're in Kuji. We're talking to them, to the community leaders, to the religious leaders. We have village square dialogues with them, telling them, explaining to them that cerebral palsy is a medical condition. I remember the first day we went to Kuji, one community that confronted me and said they had taken a child to the river, they had drowned the child, and on return they saw the child sitting on the bed. I told them it's not possible. These children are as helpless. If we leave them there, they are going to hunger to death. They do not have such powers. So the next meeting, I invited them here. They saw these children, and to the glory of God, they are now great advocates. And we also collaborate with government agencies. So we hold quarterly meetings here with ministries that are responsible for the well-being of these children. And at least last year, we were able to enroll them on National Identity Management Card for National ID card, and then the FCT Health Insurance insured the children. That's a boy, Tekuma. We cared for Tekuma for like 5 years. So started 2011, so about 2016, 2017, Tekuma was fit. So Tekuma went back to be with the parents. And then in 2014, we had, I feel so good talking about this boy. We got news that Teso was given out to be taken away, to be drowned. So we got there. It was not easy rescuing him. It was not easy at all rescuing him because the parents, the community, and all believed that he was not deserving of life because he was not developing as expected. His own case is not even so severe, but because he was not developing as expected, they felt and considered that he should not be given a chance to live. We rescued Teso. To the glory of God, Teso is the only child in this center that is completely independent.
Wow.
You didn't see him today because Teso is in FCT school for the deaf.
Oh.
He's deaf and dumb. We rescued him in 2014, and all through these years he's lived with us. He goes to the boarding school and returns here because this is the family that Teso knows. Teso will be 13 years by September 23rd. And then another one in 2024. Yes, Bemdo. Bemdo too started taking steps here, and Bemdo can raise his hand to feed. Not so well, but if you work with children that have severe cerebral palsy, you'd understand what it means for a child to be able to lift his or her hand. You understand something as simple as that. But Bemdo can now eat with assistance. So these are some of the success stories we have had over the years. Thank you.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yes.
You know, I will take you back to your personal experience before we move back to the center. And that is because maybe a mother out there is looking forward to this answer. When you gave birth to your first, okay, there was no issue. You gave birth to your second and your third, and then you had an issue. What will you, and then you gave birth to a fourth, and there was no issue. What will you say? Did you dig in to know what happened in between the first and the fourth?
Is the formation, I would say handling, but not strictly handling, because when Sedu came out, she was struggling to breathe. I didn't understand what it was, but they asked us to go home, that she was fine. So at 6 months, it will interest you to know that I discovered it myself. No doctor, yes, myself. By 6 weeks, I noticed that Sedu could not follow brightly colored objects. So we started seeing one eye doctor to the other. Sedu had blonde hair. Sedu had wobbling eyes. And having Sedu, I was a bit scared about the next pregnancy. So when we had her on the file, we did some tests at 12 weeks, and they assured us all was well. Yes, we did one in Lagos, we did one in Abuja. They assured us that all was well. But when our Ndufa was giving birth to in the hospital, right in the labor ward, I told the doctor that this child has issues. But what I'm saying, the resemblance was striking. You could hardly tell the difference between Sedo and Ndufa. Okay. Just that Sedo was a she and Ndufa was a he. The color, the skin color, everything was just so.
And with the experience of
Sedo, so for me, I think it was for formation. When I was to give birth to Sesu, that's the last one after the two that had cerebral palsy, because everybody concluded that if I give birth to third, fourth, fifth, sixth, they were all going to come out with cerebral palsy. Oh yeah, so when I was pregnant, somebody would look at me and say, oh, she's pregnant again, she's going to be different. Yes, I went through all that. So when I relayed everything, my experience to the doctors, they say, no, I will not give birth by myself. She'll be assisted. Okay. So they now had CS. CS with me. In fact, when I get back to the Sesu, I was left in the theater. They were all running around, jubilating and celebrating her because they brought her out and showed me. Is she okay? I said yes, because I told them yes, my experience with her and the father I would know. So they said, once I said he was okay, she was okay, they left me. My husband was asking. They left me and they went around celebrating because it was a big success story for them.
Now, how do you combine taking care of your children and then the children that have been adopted into the center? Do you feel any form of blood tie? Is there any form of emotions? How do you combine the two? And then running a family, right? Yeah. Because you still have children who are without CP. So how do you combine all this together?
Yeah, for children in the center, I take them as my children. And, well, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, my two children with CP passed. Ndufa was the first that passed at our old center in Treadmore. Then Sedo had passed before we started the center. So all the other children, I take them as my children, because indeed they are my children, because I am committed to seeing that what I went through, what my children went through. For other children, it is a bit easier. For other mothers, it's a bit easier. So of course, they are my children. That's the way I see them, and that's the way I treat them. I don't feel any difference from this one is now Ndufa, this one is not Sedo. To me, they are my children once they are under this center. And then to my family, yes, it's been challenging. But we've been moving, Sesu, the one that is next to Ndufa, when she was small, she used to complain a lot that every time I see you on TV, Sedo Ndufa, Sedo, you don't talk about us, you don't talk about everything, Sedo Ndufa, Sedo Ndufa. Do I remember that I have other children besides this Sedo Ndufa? And I told her that you can speak for yourself. You can defend yourself. I'm speaking for the children that cannot speak. I am their voice. And that is why I talk about them a lot. So yes, it's been challenging managing this thing. And sometimes when you get so passionate, even other family members begin to feel that, oh, you're spending too much time there and all that and all that. So it's been challenging. And then I used to work in the bank. Yes, I used to work in the last bank I worked, Fidelity Bank. I managed the Abuja Market branch till 2022. It was becoming overwhelming. The call, the urge, and the feeling to be all here took over. So I had to resign and come here and be fully. But it became more difficult when I came here because when I was working, I was earning well. So I could run the center even with my personal funds. But when I left fully and came here, we began completely depending on you and everybody that feels strongly moved to give us one error and believes in our work, that believes that children with cerebral palsy should be cared for. So that's how we've been working.
How do you feed these children, and what do you do? Like, what are the things you put together to make sure that everything balances?
Our children, most of them have issues, have challenges swallowing. So first we blend their food into puree to make it soft for them to be able to swallow more easily. So what we do, we wash our rice and dry it, and then blend it like you would blend amala. Okay, and that's how we cook it with fish. Sometimes we add avocado pear. Then sometimes we add eggs, and then we eat a lot of sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes too, we add avocado pear, we add fish, we add egg. And then our pap, sometimes we add oil, little bit of oil, yes, in the pap. And then we add milk, sometimes we even add crayfish in our pap. Yes, that's how we feed them. We avoid sugar, we avoid canned foods, we avoid biscuits, we avoid minerals, we give them natural food as much as it is possible for us, and then we give them a lot of vegetables, we give them fish, we give them a lot of eggs. Like somebody whose child is here sent us bread, and I told her that please don't give us bread. It's not that I don't want bread. Send us, even if it's one loaf of fish, send us a crate of eggs, send me a window of crayfish, but please don't give us bread. Not that bread is anything, but we don't give them bread. We give them natural food.
And this is also telling someone that at least when they are visiting the center, they know what to bring, what the center, aside from food, what will you prefer that people step into the center with that will be a breath of relief?
For now, like I said, our challenge that we've over and over, months upon months, year upon year, caregiver salaries. If we could support us, take off a caregiver. If we support us, pay for physiotherapy for maybe a child, even if it's one session. One session costs between 4,000 and 5,000. So if we could do that for us, I would be happy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
for the time you've given us. Thank you for the things you do. It is only a heart of gold that can actually put this. But passion, they say, speaks loud. Passion speaks loud, and it encourages hard work because you put in your all. What advice would you like to give? Say something to someone who is watching us.
Okay, I will start with parents of children with disabilities. I understand the feeling. I've lived it. I understand the pain. But I say that your child is first your child.
As we played piano, laughed and watched these kids devour their lunch with unbridled joy, we saw strength in their unique world. Saying goodbye was hard, but memories will always linger on. This story echoes another Noye in Lagos who adopted a CP child and found purpose. Now, Kawan in Abuja and Noye in Lagos offer comfort, care, and a chance for these kids to thrive. These centers need our help. Can you support the CP child today? Every little bit counts.
First, love your child. If you love your child and you accept your child, you begin to see the child in whom the child is more than the diagnosis. And that is why when say CP child, I say no, it is not CP child, because for me you're seeing the CP first. It is a child first, a child with CP. If you're a parent or a mother or a father with a child that has disability, for me God has blessed you, God has given you work. Because children with disabilities, children with cerebral palsy are specifically designed by the master craftsman and placed into your family for you to take care of that child. There is no need shying away. There is no need pretending or hiding. Your child is your child. Love your child. Many of the parents, the attitude is that they're not deserving. Because there's one parent that the child is here. Yes, he took the child to a school and they charged him over $500,000. Yes. And that was when he heard about us and he came. I told him we are not charging. Has he given us 50,000? Oh yes. So that is it. But because my calling, my passion, my work is to the children. So sometimes I get so not too good about the behavior of these parents. Because even if you say visit these children once in a month, many times they will tell you they don't have time to do this. Okay, can they come another day? Or can they do that? Can they do that? But we are talking, we are educating, and we are encouraging them to do better. It's my calling. So we'll continue. God has been faithful. God has taken care of us. God has taken us to 15 years. We are heading towards 16. So it's been a sweet journey. It's beautiful working with these children. It's beautiful. It's one thing I feel God has done well for me. I don't think I felt so good working in the bank. I don't think I feel so good working any other way but here. Because this is where when I see the children look at me and smile, when I see them laugh, and then I've had testimonies of people that, I came here and I prayed, I got twins. Oh yes.
Wow.
Oh yes. I've had testimonies from people. So what better way could I have lived? What better way should I live and serve humanity if not to work for these children that may never ever be able to repair or do anything? What else? What the most vulnerable of them? So for me, God has done well for me. For me, I'm ever grateful. I'm ever grateful to have brought Sedo, to have brought Aondufa. So to be a source of encouragement to other parents, to other mothers, and to every other person, and to preach cerebral palsy. It is not a death sentence to parents that have children with cerebral palsy. It is not a curse. They are human beings. And if you look at them, there's none that does not look well. Most of them are beautiful and handsome.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's as if they selected those ones.
True.
Beautiful and handsome.
True. You know, when I came in, I was like, look at them looking they're so sweet.
So
See their skin. They're so, and then their smile is so,
and we pray to God.
Worthy mission.
Yes, we pray to God as we continue to offer therapy. We have more of them taking steps.
Thank God that today in Abuja we can actually boast of a center where people and children and parents with CP can actually find a home. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been fantastic having you on the show.
Thank you.
You can always reach out to the CP Center and show some form of love. You might not be able to build one, but you can support. You don't have to have a CP child, but you can support one. And she said it all. Just decide on what you think you can do to put a smile on the faces of the children, smiling back at you. Thank you for staying with us on Against All Odds today. We hope to do this again next week, same time, same channel. My name is Dushima Pius Ikerabe. Be kind, be positive, put a smile on someone's face. Bye-bye.
Audio Jungle.